everybody! Today we are going to talk about 10 counting units in Cantonese. I know this might be a bit difficult and not that easy to memorize, so I'll try to link them up and hopefully it would help to smoothen the process a bit. And at the end of this video, I will also give you a very useful ultimate tip, so please try to stay with us until the end. The first one is gan. This is usually used for the physical infrastructure. For example, a store. 一間鋪頭 一間鋪頭 Two rooms 兩間房兩間房 But we usually use this to describe the wider or bigger or more bulky infrastructure. So if you want to talk about tall buildings, it would be 棟 棟. For example, a tall building is 一棟高樓大廈一棟高樓大廈 Or a residential property 一棟住宅一棟住宅 And if you want to talk about something which is not a building but also tall and thin, you can use 條 條 For example, a charging cable 一條叉電線一條叉電線 Or a strain of dental floss 一條牙線一條牙線 And if that object doesn't have a strain-like texture, it would be 支支 For example, a pencil 一支鉛筆一支鉛筆 Or a branch 一支樹枝一支樹枝 Oh, by the way, we had a Cantonese tongue twister challenge before 黐線蜘蛛啲蜘蛛絲黐住支樹枝 And it's about a crazy spider and a branch. If you're interested, please go and check it out and see if you can challenge my speed. After a tiny little break, let's come back to talk about 支, this counting unit. Some of you might wonder if you can use 支 for chopsticks. The answer is yes or no, because it depends. If you want to say, I drop a chopstick, 我跌咗一支筷子, then you can use 支. But as you know, we use chopsticks in a pair, so it will be more common for you to say 一對筷子. 對 means pair. So apart from 筷子, you can also say a pair of socks. 一對襪一對襪 Or a pair of hands. 一對手一對手 Okay, how about the items which has more than 2 units, such as a pile? A pile would be 堆堆 For example, a pile of leaves. 一堆樹葉一堆樹葉 Or a pile of documents. 一堆文件一堆文件 Well, for the printed documents, it's usually made of papers. So for the thing with a similar texture of a paper, it would be 張張 For example, a piece of tissue paper. 一張廁紙一張廁紙 A piece of movie tickets. 一張戲飛一張戲飛 And although piece can be translated as 張, it can also be translated as 件. For example, a piece of clothing. 一件衫. Or a piece of cake. 一件蛋糕. For 件, you can also use it to talk about incidents. For example, that matter, 嗰件事, this matter, 呢件事. And nowadays, one of those matters, which matters the most for most of us, would probably be the gadgets like smartphone. So, for electronic gadgets, you can use 部. For example, a phone is 一部手機. A microwave, 一部微波爐. Or a camera, 一部相機. Whew, I know it's such a long journey, and if you're watching until now, 加油啊, because it's almost there. And now I'm going to share with you the most commonly used counting units in Cantonese, which is 個. So, for 個, you can use it for both tangible and intangible objects. For example, a bread. 一個包. A person. 一個人. Or an idea. 一個諗法. Well, I would say if you're not sure about which counting units to use, then you can use 個 and try to explain more about what you want to say. Even though 個may not be suitable in every single case, once you say 個, locals will understand that, oh, you are trying to use a counting unit. And if we hear that is not quite the correct one, we can share with you the more commonly used counting units directly, and it might be even better for your learning because, well, your memory can be strengthened through the daily experience. And yeah, that's it for today's very intensive episode. Thank you very much for staying with us. Luckily, we are on YouTube, so if you want, you can just replay this video again and again and again, and hopefully you will find it useful. And if you want more Cantonese videos like this, please don't forget to give a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it to your friends. Thanks for watching. 遲啲再見啦. Bye bye. Wider, or like the more bulky. I'm using personification here. 一件三文 no 一個三文治一個包. I also have to take a rest.